are effectively right next to each other. You can't just Alt F4 Minecraft. It would literally be impossible to time. So you also need to crash the game because the player was moved into the nether. Something during this specific action needs to somehow go wrong. This is where Micahrific and Katie the QT come in. They discovered a brand new exploit that, among many other things, can actually be used to crash the game because the player was moved into the nether. Their full breakdown on everything the exploit can do will be linked in the description, but I'm going to try and simplify it to the best of my ability. It's a little complex, so please, if you would, I'm gonna need you to put your phone away. Okay, so when you are playing Minecraft, every entity is given an ID number. Everything from mobs to items, even the player gets an ID number. The entity ID number simply starts at 1 and increments upwards. Every time the game creates or loads in a new entity, it is simply given the next number in the list. This ID system is how the game keeps track of all the entities loaded into the world. So the game doesn't really like it if there is 2 entities with the same ID number. In fact, the developers made it so that the game instantly crashes if this situation ever occurs. And the reason all of this is important is because we need the game to crash when it tries to move the player into the nether. And the player also has an entity ID number. So, this means that if there was an entity in the nether with the same ID as the player, when the game attempts to move the player into the nether, the 2 entity IDs will collide, instantly crashing the game before it can give you the advancements. Now, it was just a matter of doing that in survival mode without cheating. Yo, there's a slime. What's up, dude? Oh! Yo, you did... It sounds impossible, but you can actually make an entity that has the same ID as the player on the latest version of Minecraft. It's just incredibly difficult and requires a massive redstone machine that I would need to build. So, with my new diamond pickaxe, I spent the next 5 hours carefully gathering materials, collecting 8 stacks of redstone, almost 2 stacks of iron. I had to raid the mine shaft I found because I needed string for dispensers. Using my hoppers and the bundle, I was also able to collect the cobblestone I needed for all of the redstone components. I actually don't even know if I need to dodge stone being in my inventory. I'm afraid. Redstone repeaters, dude, no advancements. Look at all this redstone stuff that I've built. This has iron, this has stone, this has cobblestone, all this. The final thing I needed was building blocks, and a lot of them. So I used the TNT from the desert temples to collect as much dirt as I could. I don't see how I could ever need more than this amount of dirt. I need to build this machine out in the middle of nowhere. If I can help it, I cannot have any mobs spawning when I'm using this machine. Effectively just wanting to be